Welcome to this tutorial on mastering audio in Final Cut Pro X. So we have an edited piece here by a student, and there is a push on the line on the track that got it up 12 decibels, and it's clipping. So if I hit the space
This
bar,
segment of Man on the Street Dollar Edition. Tune in next time to see who will win $1.
so it kind of gets up to 0 or over 0. If you see these red peaks in the track, what's cool about the Final Cut Pro interface is when you adjust audio, you're also seeing the adjustment in the waveform in the track, so you can see like the yellow or the red on the track. You don't want it to get into the red, and really you don't want to be using this line to go up ever. You always want to kind of use filters, an audio filter, to get your audio up to line level, but then if you need to mix it down lower, like if you wanted to lower music, you could do it there. Also, you can kind of do some mixing with the music track if you hold the Option key and click on the line. That'll add little bullet points, so you would be able to kind of like fade things in and out, like down and then back up again, by clicking on the line. So I'm going to undo that, Command Z. So it's Option clicking on the line, and then lowering by using the line. If you want to get your audio up to line level, you want to set this at 0. If you select the clip, you can go over to your audio inspection, and then you could type it directly in there if it's too hard to drag around on the line. So we're at 0, and if I hit the space bar, the audio is going to be kind of low. So we're just going to add one plugin. It's pretty simple. So if you go, filter. So if you go and hover over here, effects. Here we go. So show or hide the effects browser. We have the effects browser up. And then I'm just going to search, and this is in the audio section, but if you highlight all video and audio, it'll search everything. So I'm just going to type in LIM. So limiter is what we're looking for, and it's actually built into the Mac OS, so AU peak limiter. We're going to grab that and throw that onto the track. So once that's on the track, you'll see it if you inspect the track, so you have to make sure that the clip is selected or else you won't see it, so that yellow box is around the clip. And then if you go over to the audio of the track, you'll start to see it if you scroll down in this top section here. So AU peak limiter is what you're going to want, and then you're going to down arrow this parameters, and then you're going to drag this to the right until you start to see yellow and not really red. So I've added way too much, and we can listen to that.
Includes this segment of
It's just kind of all loud at that point. We wanted to kind of just start touching the yellow. So over here it's touching yellow. If this is too low, you'll see it there,
Includes this segment.
and you'll hear it there. If you want to go up a little bit, you can kind of push a little bit, and then when it got loud over here,
will win $1.
it gets into the red a little bit, but it's not actually clipping. So what happens here is a limiter is going to push the gain up, but limit the top from ever going over 0. So it won't clip, and it'll push the volume up. So AU peak limiter is what you're going to use. And then one last thing before we're done with the tutorial, make sure that you're going through and setting your audio configuration. So if you have a clip, and I'm not sure why this is in surround sound, but usually it starts out being stereo. And if we play this,
Sure.
you see that the channel is the track is right heavy. So that right heaviness is because it was plugged into the right side. If you didn't have two microphones plugged into your camera equipment, you're going to see one track is going to be on and the other track is essentially no information. So in order to configure that correctly, set it to dual mono and find the side that has the information. In this case, it's dialogue 2, the right side, because that's where this microphone cable was plugged in. And the left side we're going to uncheck. And then I'm going to take this clip and go up here, and we're going to do 0 dB on the volume, and then add the peak limiter, and then drag the peak limiter up. And right about there is probably where we want to be, and we'll listen back.
Sure.
So if you don't have your meters over here, that's Command-Shift-8 turns those on and off, and you have the big meters, or else you'll see it in this little metering section here. But I always like to have them up, and you always want your dialogue to be kind of where this is.
Sure.
Somewhere around -6 is where you want dialogue to kind of live, and then the music will be under it so that you can hear the dialogue track. The last thing that I think is useful to know, once you have, like, it's kind of challenging here because we're miking and recording with a handheld microphone and all different people, so the audio level is going to change due to how each person kind of talks. If you wanted to copy it, and like let's say you had the same audio set up the whole time and you wanted to copy it across multiple tracks, select the clip. Once you have the peak limiter applied, you can use that same peak limiter, and this works for any filter that you want to apply over and over again. You would Command C, copy it, and then like let's say the front of this was the exact same thing. You would do Command Shift V, and that brings up what do you want to paste. It's called paste attributes. So we're copying, Command C, and Command Shift V, pasting attributes. And then if we wanted just the peak limiter, we select that and maybe get rid of all the video attributes. Let's see if we can do that. Actually, paste it, and then select this line, and we're going to go up here and 0 dB. And now, yeah, that actually looked like it worked. So maybe even touch it down a little bit because it's getting kind of peaky the whole time. So maybe we'll go to like 10. And play it back and watch on our meters.
Don't talk into the mic when you get a dollar. Today we are playing.
I'm also going to just double check here, make sure. I'm not sure how this was recorded or set up for surround sound. You kind of want to make sure that you're in stereo and then just mono, and then it looks like this track is pan center because it's playing out of both speakers equally.
When you get a dollar.
Let's check this one. Yeah, some of these tracks, for whatever reason, came in as surround sound tracks. I'm not sure how that was configured. And let's see if I can find it. Yeah, all these for whatever reason. Do you know if you recorded across multiple days? Or was it just one day?
Yeah, we shot it all in one day, and then the last one was a day. So it might be because of the last one.
Yeah, the one that you shot, however these were imported, they come in as a surround sound file. You do want to set them to mono, and then the stereo mono. Nope, I think this one was maybe. Yeah, most files come in as stereo files, so you have to set it from stereo to dual mono, and then you have to do the channel configuration here and pick the side where you have the audio set up. Then everything should be playing equally out of both, and you want to grab that peak limiter and drag it on. That's going to do it for this tutorial.